Stop everything you are doing and imagine a gladiator guarding the most valuable terrain in all of sports, the third baseline. Picture the impossible bounce magically dying in his glove, the cannon shot across the diamond that screams inevitability, and the casual swagger as he routinely executes plays that defy physics. Is he a man, or is he a finely tuned baseball cyborg program for defensive perfection? This is not hyperbole. This is the reality of Nolan Arenado, the human vacuum cleaner of the hot corner, a player whose highlight reel is less a reel and more a feature-length documentary on athletic supremacy. We are about to strip away the myths, lift the veil on the statistics, and ask the hardest questions about the man whose glove has generated more hype than 100 Hollywood blockbusters. How is it remotely plausible that one player has dominated a position so completely, year after grueling year, that the Gold Glove Award merely seems to exist as a formality awaiting his signature? Consider the sheer mental and physical attrition required to maintain elite defensive metrics across a 162-game schedule. Does Arenado possess some hidden reservoir of endurance that competitors simply lack, or is there an unseen force guiding his trajectory? We celebrate the majestic home runs and the clutch RBI. But are we truly appreciating the silent, soul-crushing despair he inflicts upon opposing hitters who dare test his zone, turning guaranteed doubles into routine outs? What celestial alignment or intense regimen explains his near-unparalleled streak of defensive awards, placing him in conversations reserved only for baseball deities who played decades ago? We talk about offense and defense as separate entities, but when you witness Arenado's power numbers, the consistent 30-plus homers and 100-plus RBI seasons, you must ask, is he the pinnacle of baseball balance, the mythological perfect blend of brute strength and surgical precision? Is it possible that his otherworldly glove work actually supercharges his confidence, feeding his aggressive approach at the plate, making his offensive production a byproduct of his defensive genius? He hits for power despite often appearing to use leverage rather than sheer bulk, sometimes making him look like he's merely playing catch with the ball over the fence. The common narrative is that players must specialize. He defies it, pushing the limits of what a third baseman can contribute on both sides of the ball. But here is where the narrative twists into the deeply uncanny. Arenado managed to become the only infielder in baseball history to win a Gold Glove in each of his first 10 full seasons, a supernatural run that feels less statistical and more predestined. This streak is so extraordinary that one must look beyond mere skill and wonder about causality. Could his success be tied to the fact that he was the inspiration for a generation of defensive metrics being recalibrated because his plays were routinely rated as theoretically impossible? Furthermore, despite the myth of Coors Field inflating his early offensive numbers, his defense never wavered regardless of environment or altitude, remaining mathematically elite even when playing on AstroTurf in the deepest corner of the country. His defensive runs saved are so high that statistical analysts occasionally check the formula, questioning if such outlier dominance is even truly measurable by human design metrics. The consensus is clear. Nolan Arenado is among the greatest defensive third basemen to ever lace up cleats, a consistent offensive threat, and a lock for Cooperstown the moment his career concludes. His balance is revered, his plays legendary, and his trophy cabinet overflowing. We accept a player who is great at hitting and great at fielding as a miracle of athletic dedication. But what if we've been looking at the whole picture backward? What if the intense, aggressive, almost unnerving perfection he displays in the field is actually a sophisticated psychological mechanism? The sheer violence and precision of his defensive plays seem to mask something entirely deeper. We celebrate the glove as a weapon of defensive wizardry, but perhaps the consistent, flawless execution is merely a distraction, a meticulous, mesmerizing shell game designed to keep our eyes off the truly shocking secret. We see the Gold Gloves and the home runs and call them balanced. But what if the balance we perceive is actually a finely tuned system of control, a carefully constructed illusion? The man who holds the hot corner with such unnatural dominance, the player who makes the impossible seem compulsory, is actually compensating for a deep, fundamental flaw. You see the constant drive for defensive perfection, the unrelenting desire to never commit an error, the pursuit of the unattainable zero. He doesn't play defense to win games. He plays defense to avoid confronting the fact that Nolan Arenado secretly hates playing third base.